It started. Okay, so now we are recording. Start class. Come on. I want to. How do I go full screen? I keep forgetting. There we go. Okay. I'm just gonna move this. So as you can see, hopefully you guys got to look at this. Earlier today, as to like what our plans, what our days are gonna look like today and tomorrow. All right, today we're gonna be talking about, just kind of going over the 7 continents and the 5 oceans. And also the main thing I would say is, understanding or, just being able to locate different points on a map using the longitude and latitude lines, right? We're gonna be using Paradeck for that. Excuse me, it happens every time I drink a lot of coffee. Excuse me, I'm sorry. And we will have our first homework assignment today, right? Which is going to be a longitude and latitude worksheet on Google Classroom. Very simple, right? It's going to be kind of to the point. And then after that, we're going to go ahead and move on to the 5 themes of geography. So if you, by the end of today, you're like, oh my God, I don't know what happened. I don't know what he was just talking about. Don't worry. I've already had many people contact me. I'm already going to be doing private Zoom sessions, and I will be recording myself. I'm going to go back to the classroom, and so I could take advantage of like the big whiteboard. I know I got this small whiteboard behind me, but to use a larger one, I'm going to go over like a much more in-depth explanation, taking it much more slowly, to like make sure that you guys understand the differences between longitude and latitude lines. So watch out for that. I'm going to post that on my YouTube channel, right? The YouTube channel that I mentioned last week. And I'll also be posting new videos about that, but I'll go over that in a little bit. So let's get this started. Okay, cool. The world map. So before we go ahead and start talking about the world and the culture and the people and all that, we actually got to know what the world is, what it looks like. How do we look for things, right? And that's the point of the latitude and longitude lines. So before that, right, take some time to write down, right, as many continents and oceans as you can, right? Because I'm just trying to see something, right, before we move on. So take some time to just list as many as you can, right? It could just be only continents, only oceans, maybe both, maybe none, because you don't know. I don't know. Let's find out. Okay, there's only 7 of you, so I will wait for all 7. As many as you can. Okay. I will wait for these last 2 responses. Whoever you may be. The power is in your hands. Maybe I'll give another minute or so. I will find out who those 2 missing people are. Remember, lack of participation means that you are not really here with us. So, let's check the chat. Huh. Edwin, Rebecca, are you guys not in the Paradeck? You guys are able to do your responses in the thing, right? Not through chat. Right? Are you guys, make sure that you're in Join PD, right? Right here. I mean, you guys should be on here. So, yeah, thank you. Okay, we're just gonna go ahead and move on. I already got your guys' responses, so I'm gonna go ahead and continue. Okay, so I'll take a look at that. I want to make sure, see kind of where we're currently at, with continents, but I'm just gonna move on. right? These are our 7 continents from this planet, right? And our 5 oceans. I'm not going to spend time going over this. We should be at a point where we either should be super familiar with them, we should know them already, or just, have an idea of where we're at. If not, I suggest you really take some time to practice them because again, we have to move on. So if you're not sure, there is a game that I posted on Classroom already where you can practice that. And, it's got to be on your own time because we got to move on. And I'm going to start expecting all of you guys to, you know, or know all of your continents and oceans, right? Because there's going to be a huge part, especially in everything that we're going to be talking about this whole year, right? So if we don't know this, right, things are going to be very confusing once we move forward. It's okay. It's all good. I think I should have a response. I'm just going to keep moving forward, Gage. Okay. Fun fact, really quick thing. I know this is like the map that we all see in every classroom, what textbook, wherever, you may see a map, a world map. Technically this is correct based on the shapes, right? The outlines and all that. That is in fact the most accurate map that we have. But in terms of like the size, is completely wrong. Like Canada is really not that huge, right? Same thing with Alaska. Greenland, right? Greenland is supposed to be like a fifth of what Africa is, and right here they look like they're just like, they're the same size. Russia's also not that massive. There's a fascinating video if you're interested in this about about kind of like why all maps are considered wrong and why it's so difficult to have an accurate map of the world, right? That is also on my YouTube channel. That is already there. You guys can take a look at that. It's pretty fascinating, and why we should, like why this map is always like the go-to map, not everything else, like what some would consider to be more accurate. But again, you guys can go check that out for yourself. It's pretty fascinating. All right, but our main focus though, right, are these lines that we see in certain maps, right? We usually look at these little boxes, these little lines, and we try to figure out, okay, what do they mean? Like, what's the point of them? Well, let's talk about them. The first major thing about these lines is that they are able to kind of structure the world a little bit. It's kind of like there to cut the world down in chunks and to make things a little bit more organized, right? So the main thing that they do is split the world up into 2 halves, right? One half of the globe, which is known as a hemisphere, right? It's an old Greek word meaning half of the globe, right? So either these lines are going to be cutting them up, from side to side, or up and down, giving us these 4 quadrants. Right, you have the northern, right, the northern hemisphere, right, western, southern, and eastern, right? Understanding these directions is going to be critical to what we're going to be talking about today, right? So make sure that we understand exactly kind of which way they're pointing towards, right? So north is obviously up, south down, east is going to be to our right, and west is going to be to our left. And then again, this is going to play into what we're going to be talking about. To understand that this is, a hemisphere, half of the globe. Okay, so this is the only part where, I'm going to be going, I can't even talk today, oh my goodness. That this is going to be the only part in which we're going to be going over a lot of information. This is kind of basically like to the point as to what the latitude and longitude lines are, right? I think I should have some. There we go. Okay. Yeah, let's do red. Let's do that. Okay. So we're talking about latitude first, okay? When you're writing them down, right, you have 2 sets of numbers, or actually 1 set of numbers. The first number is going to be coming up is going to be the latitude line, right? We're talking about these lines, right? The lines that go across. That's terrible. It's so hard to draw with a laptop pad or whatever. Right, so this right here, these lines that go from side to side, these are my latitude lines, right? As you can see looking at this map up here, right? These are my latitude lines, right? You guys get the point. Okay. So they're the ones that be listed first. They are the ones that go from numbers 0 to 90. Remember, there are two, right? There's like two sets of these numbers, right? From 0 to plus 90 and 0 to negative 90. Okay. Don't forget that. Always remember that we are talking about both 0 through 90, but also 0 to negative 90. This is where we start confusing a lot of people. Okay, so just know that latitude lines in general, right, kind of to the point, is that they go from numbers 0 to 90, both positive and negative, right? Just kind of stick with that. They're going to be both positive and negative, but the main thing is that they go from 0 to 90. All right, so if we're talking about hemispheres again, okay, these lines, right, they cut through the world right through the middle. So we end up with both the, come on, right, the northern hemisphere, and right, if we're using these colors from this these directions, right, by the way, they're called the cardinal directions, right? North, east, south, west, right? So every time I say cardinal directions, I'm talking about this. Just double check on my time, make sure that we're all good. Okay. All right, so again, latitude lines are separating both my northern and southern hemispheres. Okay, they go from 0 to 90, both positive and negative. Okay, and they are the numbers that you're going to find on the side, right? So we're looking at maps. The numbers are listed on the side, right, on the y-axis, right? If we are going to apply math terms on this, right, on the y-axis, right, those are going to be your latitude numbers. Okay, you guys with me so far? Some kind of reaction or something? Yeah. Okay, cool. Cool. All right, now let me just kind of, come on. Just get rid of this. Okay, cool. So a lot of stuff that we're gonna be talking about in this class in general, especially these first couple of months, is, you know, like the main thing that I always say is, if you know one, you're gonna know the other, because a lot of the times they're always the opposite, right? So if talking about latitude, I mean, if we're talking about longitude, they're just going to be exactly the opposite as latitude, right? It's going to be the exact opposite of what these things are. So let me go ahead and get this started again, right? So if I'm, again, talking about longitude lines, I'm talking about these lines that separate these two halves. So remember, latitude lines separate north and south. So my longitude lines are going to separate my east and my west. Okay, so those are the two sides that I get, right? So just kind of forget that these lines are even existing right now, right? So just kind of focus on these lines, right? My east and my west. So same thing as latitude, right? Instead of 0 through 90, we got 0 to 180, right? Longitude lines, think of like longer, I don't know, I know it's probably not right, but just think of like longer numbers, right? Larger numbers, right? To use a more accurate word, right? We're talking about longer numbers, larger numbers, whatever it is, right? Because we're talking about 180, it's double of 90. So we're talking about, you know, much more, or even just looking at like the side of it, right? This line is a lot longer, right? So we're talking about longitude lines here rather than the latitude lines that are a little bit shorter. So now that we have both of these together combined, again, if you guys have any questions about anything, feel free to just kind of drop something in the chat. Be like, well, Mr. Rodriguez, hold up, I'm lost or something. All right, let me know. So here, if talking about, this is the y-axis, right? Obviously, there's going to be our x-axis, right? Hopefully, it doesn't confuse you guys. Actually, I'm just going to undo that. Okay, so now we have, right, our technically our four halves now, right? We have the northern half, southern half, eastern half, and western half. So now we have our quadrants, right? We have now four little sections of the world, and now this is where we can really get started and figure out exactly what, you know, find out a location of a certain country or city or something, right? This is how we're going to be basing off our information. So if we're talking, for my examples, right, I'm talking about 87 degrees north, 125 degrees east. Okay, so what I will be doing, right? So first I gotta look my latitude line, which is 87, right? So 87 will probably be somewhere around here. I'm not gonna be too accurate for now, somewhere around here, but I'm also looking for 125 degrees east, right? So I know that I have to be over here, but that's west. So I need to move it over to this side, right? So I'm both in northern and eastern hemispheres. So 125, right? This is 180. Again, I'm just gonna guess. So I'm gonna be like, okay, it's probably like something right here, right? This is someplace right here, and that would be your location. Okay. So now, so that's pretty much it, guys. All right, that's kind of to the point, right? Okay, cool. I got something on the northern side. Okay, I know it's gonna be up here, but which side though? Oh, okay, it's telling me east, so I now have to look at these numbers. Another thing to help you out figuring out which side you need to go on is if something is positive or negative, right? So if I'm looking at my second example, right, negative 36 degrees south, right? I know that, okay, it's in the south over here, but it's also a negative number, so I know for sure that it's down here. Okay, negative 36. Okay, here's negative 30. So it's probably going to be somewhere closer to the 30 line, and 165 degrees east, 100 degrees east. Okay, it's not negative, so it's not here, or it's not west, right? So it's definitely not here. So I got to come back on this side. Okay, so I know 30 degrees right here. Okay, follow it over to 165. Okay, it's probably going to be somewhere around here. Cool. It's probably New Zealand or something like that. So that's what I'm looking for. And that's it. Like, that's all you really need to know, right? So if you just kind of do that, if you just remember these certain criteria, right? Okay, if is it north? Is it south? Is it east, west? What's the number, right? Is it positive or negative? I know I know it's a lot to think about, but if you just follow these guidelines, right? If you just look at this and know exactly, again, where to look for certain locations, then you're set. Like, that's pretty much it. But again, if you're still not really sure or not positive, right, we can we can continue on and we'll actually practice this out. Okay. All right. We still good, guys? I know some of us showed up a little late, so just try to catch on. Don't worry, I'm recording this right now, so you can always look back. I mean, go back and look at it. But we good though? Okay. Great. Alrighty then. Let's move on. Now let me clear all this. Clear all drawings. Right. So now I want you to go ahead and practice. Let's so you have two flags, right? One for each number, right? So the blue flag and red flag, you know, one and two. So just kind of go ahead and just drop in both flags, right? If you click it first, it'll be the blue one. If you click it again, it'll be the red one. So you need to kind of do both at the same time, right? Go ahead and just kind of place the bottom of the flag into the point, right? So if you want to tell me that it's right here, make sure that the little stick part, right, the pole is pointing towards that point or something. All right, for my people who just joined us, if you guys can join this, right, the join PD with this code so you guys can participate, because I know there's some stuff that you guys can still, you know, you guys can still do. Okay. Okay, I'm still waiting on a few more. Remember, guys, I need you to participate on with me, all right? There's not that many people, so I expect everybody to partake. And I will find out who doesn't participate, so don't think you're hiding. I will find you. I like that movie, Taken. Great movie. Okay, maybe like a minute more, right? If you're not really sure, go ahead and guess. Nothing wrong with guessing. Nothing wrong with a good old educated guess. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and lock screens and sorry, I got distracted. Okay. So this is what we got. All right. I see where everybody's mind is at. Okay. I get it. Really do. 15 degrees. All right, we're still getting them. Okay, we're still getting them a little confused. People, okay, you've got. All right, most of you guys got this one correct, but nobody got this one right. The first one. We got that one right. Okay, so this is where we should be at, right? If we go back to our responses, right? So again, most of us got them correct, right? 30 degrees south, right? So I know it should be here, but it's west. Okay, this is the west side, 150 degrees. So it would be around right here. These lines kind of curve, right? So this one technically goes to, yeah, that is, yeah, that would be 150, right? I know this is a little kind of like, cuts it kind of close, but it would be around this vicinity. However, this one though, right, if I show you the correct answers, oh, actually just came right here, right? See, even I got confused. Well, however, this one, right, again, we're talking about 15 degrees north, right? These are my latitude lines. So you did it correctly with the second one, but some of you guys, right, you used this 15. Remember, this is the longitude lines, right? They go to 180, right? So I'm talking about 15 degrees north here. Follow this up. Okay, cool. Then see, then I see here that it's between 60 and 90, right? So right between that middle number would be 75, right? See how I got that there? Okay, that would be the correct point. And while for the first question, and the second one would be this one. Okay, you guys see how I got that? Anybody understand where they made the mistake or what? They're still a little confused? Okay, so again, those are my biggest tips, is to always check whether if it's north, south, east, or west, and also check whether if it is a positive or negative number. See how sometimes some maps don't even tell you that it's a negative, but you should know that by now because they are already in the south or western side. So it should be kind of straightforward. Okay, so that's pretty much it, right? We have about 5 minutes. I do want to go over just some quick little stuff with you guys. I'm going to go ahead and post the homework, which will not be due until tomorrow before midnight. Okay. It's just some practice worth 10 points. Let me just post that for y'all. Today's the 3rd. Okay, I would like for you guys to answer this, right? And just very quickly, circle. Right, you should not be thinking about it too much. I mean, I guess you should, right? You're trying to be honest. Okay. So I'll just wait for you guys to do that. All right. few things I believe that I should tell you. Yeah, is if we go back to classroom, right? Okay, to get to stuff fairly quickly, right? It's always best to just kind of click on the topics, right? I've already listed out all the topics for this semester, right? So we should be going to culture, geography. Okay, I posted the homework on here. You can take a look at that. Again, it's just practice with latitude and longitude. Here, these are my geography videos, right? Looking at my YouTube channel, right? I.Rodriguez. Here's the first video, right, of why all world maps are wrong. I'll probably keep adding, more useful or what I like to think maybe like entertaining or informative videos about whatever we are talking about, right? I will post them on here, and then you guys can just go ahead and check them out yourselves, right? See what you can learn or stuff that may help you out with whatever else that we're talking about. Okay, so that's there for you guys, and just keep checking up on it, see if I add anything. And here's that world map game, right? Continents and oceans. So if you're still lost, you have no idea, what your continents are or your oceans, right? You have these games right here to help you out with that. If we're still having trouble, right? If I see that most of us don't know our continents and oceans, expect a quiz of some sort, probably. Who knows, right? We'll see. We'll see if I go ahead and do that for you. Okay. Oh, Brittany, you're now in classroom? I'm sorry. I had no idea. I thought you were. Interesting. Oh. Let me do that now. That's for sure I had it, but... Oh, I'm sorry, Brittany. I'm going to double check how you spell it. Oh, that's right there. Okay, great. Oops. Okay, sending you an invite now. Well, yeah, I thought that you were in our classroom this whole time. I apologize once more. Okay, so that kind of wraps it up for today. Unless you guys have any last minute questions about what we talked about, or anything else for that matter, tomorrow again we're gonna be moving on, right, to a new topic, which is the 5 themes of geography. I'm not gonna do like a lecture like this. It's gonna be a different approach, but just know that we're gonna be moving on. So we're still lost. We're really confused. You have to let me know. Otherwise, I'm gonna assume that we all got it and we're gonna keep moving forward. So yeah, if you guys got any more questions about anything. Oh, actually, I forgot to play my outro song, a nice little relaxed song to let you know that the day is over. Oh no, it always disconnects from my speaker the moment I need it. Well, you guys are good to go anyways, right? It's 11:04. You guys can dip out if you'd like, and see you tomorrow. Here's my outro song. Oh, I forgot to stop recording.